So, good morning, good evening, students. Welcome in next lecture of Math F113 Probability and Statistics. So, presently we are doing continuous random variable, and in last lecture we have covered basics of the continuous random variable. Then you know that every random variable characterized with PDF and CDF. So here we have covered probability density function and cumulative distribution function. Thereafter, we have seen we have learned about the percentile and the median. So last time we were doing this question. Audio video is okay.
Yes,
Last time
yes.
we were doing this question. Find the CDF of the following density function. So for the first question we have done. Now second question, fx is equal to mod of x for the range -1 to 1. Otherwise it is 0. So here it is given to you fx is equal to mod of x for the range -1 to 1 and 0 elsewhere. So this PDF can be written -x for the range -1 to 0, x for the range 0 to 1, and it is 0 elsewhere. And we know that CDF is what? Accumulation of the probability up to that point, or the sum of the probability up to that point. So when we have to compute the fx, so it is what? Minus infinity to x fx into dx. So if you have the range for -1 to, or for the x, you can say for the x less than -1, for the x less than -1. So here fx will come minus infinity to x 0 dx, that is the 0.
Less than equal to
Pardon?
less than equal to minus one.
हाँ, not अभी रुको, that I will tell you, what here it will come. For x greater than equal to -1 but less than 0, so fx will be minus infinity to x, that can be written as minus infinity to -1 plus -1 to x. So it will be the minus infinity to -1 0 dx plus -1 to x minus x into dx. So this will become 0 plus, and here we have the minus x square by 2 minus 1 to x. So this will become 1 minus x square by 2. 1 minus x square by 2. Now when x is equal to 0, when x is equal to 0, so it will become fx is equal to 1 by 2. Now when x greater than 0 but less than 1, so fx will be what? General formula, minus infinity to x fx into dx, which can be written as minus infinity to 0 plus 0 to x, 0 to x, which can be written as, now for this up to the 0 we have seen here, we have computed as a half, and for this range integrand is x, so x into dx, x into dx, so half plus, now we have the x square by 2 0 to x, So it will become 1 plus x square by 2. So when x is equal to 1, so when x is equal to 1, fx will come 1 when x greater than 1. When x greater than 1, so fx will come minus infinity to x, fx into dx, which can be written as minus 1 to 1, minus infinity to 1 plus 1 to x, 1 to x. So for this it is 1 plus integral 1 to x 0 dx, that is equal to 1. So in this case you can see fx will come, it is 0 when x is less than minus 1, 1 minus x square by 2 when x is greater than equal to minus 1 but less than 0, it is equal to 1 plus x square by 2 when x greater than equal to 0 but less than 1, and it is equal to 1 when x greater than equal to 1. Right? So this is the correct way to write the CDF. In this you have to take care, always in the CDF there must be starting from this 0, there must be this terminating with this 1, and for the complete real line you have to write, means here we must have the CDF for minus infinity to plus infinity. Plus infinity, whether you are writing the minus infinity or plus infinity, that is not a big issue, but it always defined for the complete real line, and is equal to always we write on the left inequality. This is the correct convention to write the CDF. Never we write is equal to, mathematically it is true, right, for the left inequality also, but never we write the is equal to on the left inequality or on the right inequality. Always we write on the left inequality. So this is the, in last example also you have seen we have written the CDF in this form only. On the previous class, whatever the question we have solved, in that we have seen here also it has the 0 and 1. It is defined from minus infinity to plus infinity, and always is equal to on the left inequality. Always is equal to on the this left inequality. So this is the correct convention to write the many times we observe that you people do not add the previous things, right? You just integrate in the corresponding interval only. So don't forget to add the previous CDF, because CDF is what? It is accumulation of the PDF from starting to that point. So always you have to add for the previous one also. So this is the way to write the CDF or to compute the CDF. Now, as you know, in the discrete also we have studied the expected value. So here we have the expected value. So if x is given to you, continuous random variable. So presently we are doing the continuous random variable, but you have the idea in case of the discrete random variable what is the ex. So here in case of the if x is discrete, then ex is what? It is the summation for all x into fx, right? Means it is the x into PMF. Means it is the summation of x into PMF for all x. But here when x is continuous, so you cannot write all the point. So if you are not able to write all the point, so instead of the summation we write the integration over x, and here we have the x into fx into dx. Means it is the integration pdf into pdf with respect to x. provided this integration must exist. So here we have the definition for the mean, and mean we know that we denote it by the mu x. Either we call the mean or you call the expected value of the random variable x. Similarly, if we have, if I'm saying that x is continuous random variable, uh, x is continuous random variable, then function of x is also a continuous random variable. So if you have to compute the expectation corresponding to this random variable hx, so it will be the value, right? Value of the hx into corresponding probability into dx, provided this integration must exist. So for compute, and this we denote by the mu hx. So for the function of the random variable also you can write the expected value also. So here we have the formula for computing the expectation of function of the random variable. Now, after having the knowledge of the expectation, you can compute the variance also. Here, expectation whether for the discrete random variable or for the continuous random variable, always the expectation follow the linear property. So here, expectation of linear function ax plus b is equal to a into expectation of x plus b, because you know that expectation for the constant is the constant, and expectation of ax is equal to a into expectation of x, right? So now we were talking about the variance. So variance is what? Whether the discrete case or the continuous case, it is the expectation of x minus mu whole square. It means it is equal to, for all x minus mu whole square into fx when x is discrete. When x is discrete, in that case we write this, but in case of the continuous, you have to integrate x minus mu whole square into fx into dx when x is continuous.
So what is this
So,
representation?
uh,
Indication sign
pardon,
than the representation,
this,
sir.
which representation?
This integration sign than नीचे x लिखा है ना. What does it represent?
X means integration over x. That we have to write the range minus infinity to infinity.
X
Whatever the
represents minus infinity to infinity.
minus infinity to infinity. Right. So here we have the value of variance, right? So variance we denote by the sigma square of x, and positive square root of variance. Positive square root of variance is known as the standard deviation. So standard deviation for the random variable is nothing. Here the positive square root of the variance of x. But we know that in general we do not use this formula for computing the variance. Here the continuous random variable also follow this computation, that variance of x can be derived by this approach, expectation of x square minus square of the square of expectation. So here it is written, clear? So the variance and the standard deviation give quantitative measure of how much spread there in the distribution or population of x value. Means it give you how much we have the deviation. How much we have the deviation means how much spread we have. How much spread we have, that you can determine with the help of the variance or the standard deviation. And this is nothing. This is the shortcut formula for computing the variance. Let X have the Pareto PDF. This is the PDF. Uh, in the question 10, it is introduced. So Fx means here the parameters are k and theta are the parameter. So k into theta to power k upon x to power k plus 1 for x greater than equal to theta and 0 for x less than theta. So now you have to determine these parts subparts. If k greater than 1, compute ex. So what is the basic formula? It is the integration over x into fx into dx. So here the range will become minus infinity to theta plus theta to infinity. Theta to infinity. In this case, integrand is 0, but in this case, integrand is given to you into dx, right? X into this. So here we have written ex is equal to integral theta to infinity x into k. This is the integrand. So k into theta power k upon x to power k plus 1 into dx. So k theta to power k you can take outside this integration. Now integral theta to infinity 1 upon x to power k, right? If, with respect to x. So this integration will give you x to power minus k plus 1 upon minus k plus 1. And when we put limit, so here we have k theta to power k x to power minus k plus 1 upon minus k plus 1 limit theta to infinity. So on putting the limit, here it will be the k theta upon k minus 1. So this is the first part. In the second part, what can you say about ex when k is equal to 1? So when the k is equal to 1, so when we put this value as a 1, this value as a 1, so in the denominator it will be the 0. So ex will become the infinity.
But we don't know about
Now,
theta.
pardon?
We don't know theta. So theta can be zero.
Please speak louder. I'm not getting your
I'm saying
voice.
that theta can be zero as well. Theta is not defined here, so we can say that theta
Ha,
can be
theta is
zero.
not defined in this. In by chance in question number 10 it is. I have not check. Presently, I haven't the book, so you can check. In question number 10, they have given this PDF. So there definitely they have given the what is the theta. Now, if k greater than 2, so that variance of x is equal to k theta square into k minus 1 power minus 2 into k minus 2 power minus 1. So we know that ex square is what? Ex square is the integration, right? Minus infinity to infinity of x square into fx into dx. So this will become minus infinity to theta plus theta to infinity. So now theta to infinity. So in this case, because integrand is 0, so this integral is 0. And here we have the x square into fx into dx. So fx is given to you k into theta over k upon x to power k plus 1. So when you put, right, so k into theta to power k will come outside. Inside the integral, we have 1 upon x to power k minus 1. Now you have to integrate this from theta to infinity with respect to x. So here you will get the answer k theta square upon k minus 2. So now what is the formula of the variance of x? So for the variance of x, we know that it is ex square minus square of the ex, square of ex. So it will become k theta square upon k minus 2 minus square of ex. So k theta upon k minus 1. So on solving, you will get k theta square upon k minus 2 into k minus 1 whole square. Now, in this also, in D part, if k is equal to 2, what can you say about the variance of x? So because k minus 2 in the denominator, So at k is equal to 2, it will become the minus infinity, infinity. It will become the infinity, right? Because in the denominator we have. Then after, what condition on k are necessary to ensure expectation of x to power n is finite? So when we have to compute the expectation of x to power n, it means it is the integral minus infinity to infinity x to power n into fx into dx. That can be written as minus infinity to theta plus theta to infinity. So in this, since integrand is 0, so it will become 0. And here we have to write x to power n into fx into dx. Now this integral should exist. So when this integral can exist, when n minus k minus 1, when the n minus k plus 1 is less than minus 1, then only this integral can exist. Otherwise you cannot integrate this integral. So it will be, because for the then for the upper limit we have the problem. So n minus k plus 1 should be less than minus 1. So it will implies n should be less than k. Then only this integral this integration will exist. So so this is the question depend over the expectation and variance of the continuous random variable. Now let us start with some standard continuous random variable. So in the first we have the uniform distribution. So a random variable x is set to be uniformly distributed. X is set to be uniformly distributed over an interval a comma b if its density is given by fx is equal to 1 upon b minus a for the x between a to b. Here what we have started, we have started the uniform distribution. Uniform distribution. So as name prompt, here we have the uniformity. Means when we say x follow uniform distribution with parameter a comma b. So in this case, let's say it is the a, it is b. So this is the uniform probability, right? But for all the possible, for the all, or in the interval a to b, for all possible value of x, we have the same fx. And what is the same fx? That is the 1 upon b minus a. So here it is given to you, fx is what? It is the 1 upon b minus a for the x from a to b and 0 elsewhere. Means before a it is 0, after b also it is 0, and otherwise it is uniform, constant, right? 1 upon ba. So now we have to check whether it is a pdf or not. So for the pdf we have to check. So 1 upon b minus a is greater than 0 for the, for all x between a to b, right? Between a to b it is greater than or equal to 0. And what is the second result? Second result is integral of the fx dx over x must equal to 1. That we have to check. So when we check, so here we have the minus infinity to a plus a to b plus b to infinity. In this case, since integrand is 0, it gives 0. In this case, integrand is 0, it will give 0. So here we have the both 0. So only we have the a to b of fx into dx. Fx into dx. So that will come a to b 1 upon b minus a into dx. So 1 upon b minus a integral a to b into dx. So this will give you 1 upon b minus a and x a to b, and it will be the b minus a upon b minus a, that is equal to 1. So now you can say x follow the uniform distribution with parameter a and b, where a and b are what? a left limit and right limit of the interval, where we have the constant fx 1 upon b minus a. So now this fx is equal to 1 upon b minus a for x between a to b and 0 else is the pdf is pdf. So just by the formula, don't believe. Always you check whether it is the PDF or not. So here, so that this density for the continuous random variable. So this we have seen, it is the PDF. Sketch the graph of the uniform density. So between x to a, we have sketched here. Now set the area in the graph of the part B that represent x less than equal to a plus b by 2. So in this graph, here we have the a plus b by 2. So you have to shade the portion right below this graph. You have to shade the portion below this graph. So a plus b by 2 is what? It is the middle point of the middle point between the a and b. So if you have to compute, if you have to compute probability that x less than equal to a plus b by 2, a plus b by 2, so it will become from a to a plus b by 2 up to, because from a your x values are starting. So here a to a plus b by 2 of fx into dx. So this will become a to a plus b by 2 1 upon b minus a into dx. So here we have 1 upon b minus a and integral x a to a plus b by 2. So this will give you 1 upon b minus a and a plus b by 2 minus a. So this will give you b by 2 minus a by 2 means b minus. So b minus a and b minus a by 2. So it will be the 1 by 2 or say 0.5. So naturally, because a plus b by 2 is the middle point of the a and b, so the area under the density curve fx at from start to a plus b by 2 will be the half, and that is nothing, that is the probability. Here the area represent the probability. So it will come the 0.5. Let CD and EF be subinterval of AB of the equal length. What is the relationship between these two probability? So what they are saying that let we have the A and B. Here we have the A and B. Here we have the C. Here we have the D. Here let's say here we have the F, E and F. And between A to B, it is uniformly distributed. So here we have the 1 upon B minus C. Now they are saying that what is the means the length of D minus C is equal to the F minus E. So now they are saying that what is the relation between X between C and D and X between E and F. So naturally, probability is what? Area below the probability curve Fx. So when CD is equal to the EF, so they will enclose the same area. It means what is the relation? They are equal. Right here, they are the equal. So probabilities are constant over the equal length of the interval. Then after, find the general expression for the cumulative distribution of the uniform distribution for a random variable x over interval a comma b. So now you have to compute the CDF. So CDF, what is the basic formula? Fx is equal to minus infinity to x into fx into dx. That is the basic formula for the CDF. And fx is what? It is the 1 upon b minus a for the range of x from a to b, elsewhere it is 0. So when x less than a, it will become fx is equal to minus infinity to x fx into dx. So minus infinity to x 0 dx, that is the 0. That is 0. Then after, when x lie between a to b, when x lie between a to b, fx will come minus infinity to x fx into dx, that is minus infinity to a plus a to x. In this case integrand is 0. In this case integrand is 1 minus b upon a into dx. So this will become the 0. So here we have the 1 upon b minus a, and here we have the x a to x. So this will become x minus a upon b minus a for the range x from a to b. And when x is equal to b, so in this expression when you put x is equal to b, it will become the b minus a upon b minus a, that is the 1. So when x greater than b, so fx will be the minus infinity to x fx into dx. So minus infinity to b plus b to x. So this will become minus infinity to b, that is the 1 plus b to x 0 dx. In this case integrand is 0. So that will become the 0. It will be the 0. So if you combined, so fx is what? Fx is the, always we start from the 0, always we terminate with the 1, and inside we have the value x minus a upon b minus a, right? For the x less than a, for the x greater than b, right, greater than equal to b, and here we have the for the x between a to b. So here also you can see we have started from 0, terminate at 1, means it range from 0 to 1 for the x from minus infinity to infinity, and on the left inequality, right, on the left inequality we write the sign of the is equal to.
Sir, you
Students,
are not
where we have the
audible.
break? Students, where we have the break?
After the 0 and 1, they wrote all
Nee,
the inequalities.
uh, means because in my side, in my computer there is some break. So on the tab it is visible, continuously visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think there is some gap in the then recording. Okay, no problem. right? So here we have the fx is equal to, so this is the standard way to write, standard convention to write the capital fx cdf for the uniform distribution, right? So here you can see uh, fx is also, because x minus a upon b minus a is nothing, it is the linear function, right? So it is the linear function here. Exact shape I am not drawing, just I want to say that it is the non decreasing. So here the fx is the non decreasing. So this is the way to write the fx. Now instead of the a, if you take the 0, instead of b if you take 1, so that is also the uniform distribution, and for that fx is this one, right? For the range x belongs to 0 to 1, means here what we are taking, a is equal to 0 and b is equal to 1. The same thing you can repeat for this pdf. So here we have the 1 upon b minus a, that is the 1 upon 1 minus 0, that is the 1. So that's why here we have written the 1 for the x from, right, a, and here we have the b, 0 to 1. So you know that what is the pdf, it is a 0, it is 1, it is the x minus a upon b minus a in the standard one. So a is 0, b is 1, so x minus 0 upon 1 minus 0, that is the x. So that is written here. Now mgf for the uniform distribution on the a comma b. So density, you know that it is the density, and mgf will be the what is the basic formula of the mgf? If you have to compute
Expectancy.
the if you have to compute the mxt or mgf for the uniform, means x follow the uniform distribution with parameter a comma b. So mxt is what? It is the expectation of e to power tx. So it will become uh, integral e to power tx into fx into dx over x. So for the uniform distribution, range will be a to b e to power tx, fx is what? 1 upon b minus a into dx. So uh, this will be the 1 upon b minus a. Now integral is e to power tx upon t upon t, and here we have the a to b. So this will become 1 upon b minus a and e to power bt minus e to power at upon t. So this mgf is valid when t not equal to 0. So when the t is equal to 0, then what will be the, when t is equal to 0, so you have to compute the mx at t is equal to 0. So this will become integral, right? Integral e to power 0x into fx into dx. So that will become, and here we have the a to b. So a to b, now e to power 0, that is 1, fx means 1 upon b minus a into dx. So it is what? It is the probability only. So it is equal to 1. So here mxt will be e to power bt minus e to power at upon t into b minus a when t not equal to 0, and it is 1 when t is equal to 0. So this is your mxt for the uniform variate. So here we have computed the mxt for the uniform variate, right? So when it is the t not equal to 0, we have this expression. When t is equal to 0, then we have the 1. Now from the mgf or directly you can compute the mean and variance for the uniform distribution. So it is given to you, x follow uniform distribution with parameter a comma b, and mxt is what? Mxt is the e to power bt minus e to power at upon t into b minus a. So now from here, if you compute the dy dt of mxt, so 1 upon b minus a, you can write as it is 1 upon b minus a. Now differentiation of remaining part, so denominator as it is. Now differentiation of the numerator e to power bt into b minus e to power at into a minus e to power bt minus e to power at into 1 upon t square upon t square. So in this case 1 upon b minus a. Now it is the bt, and e to power tb can be written as 1 plus bt plus bt square upon factorial 2 plus bt cube upon factorial 3 and so on, right? Minus here we can write at and 1 plus at plus at square by factorial 2 and so on, minus e to power bt minus plus e to power at and whole upon t square, right? Whole upon t square. So if you here in this case we have the, if you multiply with the this, so you will get the bt, here it will become a b square t square. So 1 upon b minus a, and here we have the bt plus b square t square plus b cube t cube upon factorial 2 and so on, minus here we have the at a square t square plus a cube t cube upon factorial 2 and so on. Then after minus e to power bt plus e to power at and whole upon t square. So this we can cancel. अच्छा यहाँ we have to open this also. We have to open this also. Just wait a bit. Directly you cannot cancel. So here 1 upon b minus a, and here we have the bt plus b square t square plus b square t square upon factorial 2 and so on, minus at plus a square t square plus a cube t cube, this is the cube, b cube t cube, a cube t cube upon factorial 2 and so on, minus 1 minus e to power or bt minus b square t square upon factorial 2 and so on, plus 1 plus at plus a square t square upon factorial 2 and so on, and whole upon t square. So what is the benefit? This bt and this bt is cancel out, this 80 will cancel out, and when you combined, so here we have the b square t square, and here we have the minus b square t square upon factorial 2 and whole upon t square. So when you divide, it will give you b minus a, and it will give you b square minus a square upon 2 plus something function of t, something function of t square, something function of t cube, and so on. So this is the dy dt, dy dt. So when we have the dy dt, so what is the mxt? What is the ex? What is the ex? Ex is the dy dt of mxt at t is equal to 0. So when we put the t is equal to 0, so this term will be the 0, this term will be the 0, this term will be the 0. So only we have 1 upon b minus a, b square minus a square by 2. So that can be written as 1 upon b minus a plus b, and b minus a upon 2. So b minus a and b minus a is cancel out. So here we have the a plus b by 2. So that is here ex is equal to a plus b by 2. Then
Sir, in
after we have to, yes,
last step, that a square t square plus a square t square by 2. I think it was that. That's not how it minus came.
pardon.
For a terms, a square t square plus a square t square by 2 factorial. That is 3 a square t square by.
No, that is the minus. Actually in complete we have the minus only, na. Actually we have the e to power bt minus e to power 80, na.
Yes.
In the complete, here we have the minus, outside the minus we have, this is the minus outside, correct? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So it is the a plus b by 2. Now when we have this, similarly from here, from the d by dt of mxt, we can compute the value of d2t upon d2 upon dt2 also. So here we compute d2 upon dt2 of mxt, right? So and when we put t is equal to 0, t is equal to 0, it will give you e of x square, and variance of x will be the what? E of x square minus square of ex. So on solving, it will give you b minus a whole square upon 12. So that is the variance of uniform distribution by the MGF. Same thing if you have to compute by the definition. So Ex is what? Ex is what? It is the integral x into fx dx a to b, right? A to b x 1 upon b minus a into dx, that is the 1 upon b minus a x square by 2 from a to b, that is the 1 upon b minus a b square minus a square by 2, that is the a plus b by 2 by definition. And e of x square is what? X square into fx into dx for the uniform distribution a to b, x square 1 upon b minus a into dx. So it will become 1 upon b minus a, and here we have the x cube by 3 and a to b. So that will be the 1 upon b minus a, b cube minus a cube upon 3. So it will be the 1 upon b minus a and b minus a, then b square plus a square plus ab upon 3. So b minus a, that will cancel out. So it e of x square will come b square plus a square plus ab upon 3. So now for the variance of x, computational formula or shortcut formula is the ex square minus square of the ex. So this is the b square plus a square plus ab upon 3 minus a plus b upon 2 whole square. So it will give you b square plus a square plus ab upon 3 minus a square plus b square plus 2ab upon 2. So when you take the LCM, right, so it will give you b minus a whole square divided by the 12. So here we have the variance of the x. So by definition, we have derived this. So for today, uh, from my side, it's over. So we have seen about the uniform variate. Any doubt in this part?
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Yes, proof is not available on the textbook, right? And it is a part of the course. You have to remember.